Hi everybody, this is Kara Drum with Face Paint Fun by Kara, and today I'm going to show you my one-stroke dragon design. Okay, first I'm going to use band stencil 1004 and Crivelline light green and tap it over my eyes. You can skip this for a boy, but I like to do it on the girls because it just adds interest and it's fun. And with my one-stroke brush loaded up with Crivelline's reptile, I'm going to make the dragon's head. It's an up, down, swoop motion. And then we're going to come around for its jaw, just making sure the dark is on the outside. Okay? There's the head shape. Now we're going to take the neck down, but we're not going to take it the whole way because we're going to decide where we want the wing to start. And here's where I'm going to make the first edge of the wing. Oops, and I had my brush the wrong way. And then I'm going to make the two folds of the wing, and then I'm going to bring the other edge of the wing down to meet it. Okay? Then loading up my brush again, I'm going to fill in where the neck just kind of peeks underneath that wing so that it looks a little better. And then we're going to flip the brush over, making sure the dark is on the inside this time. And we're going to peek its body out from under the wing and then back under. And then from the bottom, we're going to make it come out onto your chin. And then you just make its little tail, press and pull over the point. Okay? I'm going to make those folds stand out a little bit more. And then we're going to fill the wing in dark on the outside and just swoop it up to the top. Flip your brush over, dark on the outside, swoop it up to the top, and I decided here that my wing needed one more fold, so I'm just going to quickly add that. Although painting on the side of my cheek, I got into my hairline and I think it ended up looking messy, but when you were doing it on someone else, it would be a whole lot easier. So with some sticky yellow paint, this is Global Yellow on my Always Book It Art sponge, I'll go back in with that band stencil 1004 and just add some scales and interest and texture anywhere I think would need it. Just being very careful to make sure it gets on the dragon's body and not my face like I did just there. And then onto its wings. So just make sure your sponge is not too wet, make sure your paint isn't drippy. You can test it on your own skin first to make sure, but you'll get a good stencil every time if you just make sure your sponge isn't too wet. Okay, now we're just going to outline the entire thing. We're going to make its eye shape with that sort of a backward S and then finishing it up with an upside down triangle just to give it that sinister dragon look. And using Wolf Black on my Low Cornell number 2, I'm just going to finish up the outline with the rest of the body. Just make sure you end on a point, making sure you flick your brush so all your lines look really clean. Just with a real steady hand, outline the wing, just following it down. Making sure your points are nice and sharp, and that you're just ending it on the tip of your brush. And I had a little bit of trouble seeing what I was doing, but I think I cleaned it up okay. And just clean up any straggly edges you might have. I think that looks fine. And then outlining the tip of the wing. Coming in over its forehead. And then its mouth. And then I decided you don't have to do this. You know, you could, if you have a line or you're in a hurry, you can totally skip this part. But I like, if I can have the time to do it, to fill that eye in with red. And then I'm going to take my wolf white, just to add some teeth to the dragon. And we're going to add some highlights too. And then we go back in the wolf black and outline the bottom of the dragon's body to just finish up and tie it in with what we did with the top. Just taking your time and making sure you get everything the way you want it, just flicking to a point and making sure your line is crisp and clean. We're going to finish up with some highlights just like we did up top with my wolf white. Alright, and we're just going to make the dragon's pupil. Got some black. Now that the red is dry, we'll just fill in the dragon's eye. And then you can totally just stop right there if you want, and you have a nice 5-minute dragon design. Less if you skip some of the highlights and the red pupil. You could definitely get that under like a 4-minute design. But you can also, if you have time, turn this into a sort of a mask and just sort of flick some flames. I've loaded up Global's One Stroke, the Mexico, and I just have an old 3/4 inch flat brush, and I'm just using it to flick some flames around the other eye. And just take it up and just sort of make a full face design out of this. So you really have options if you just want to make it real quick, or if you want to give it a little bit more interest and make it a fire breathing dragon, and the boys love it. And there you go. Hope you like it.